Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. The Philippine Coast Guard has removed China's floating barrier in Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal. The PCG said this is in compliance with President Bongbong Marcos's instruction. The 300-meter barrier was discovered last week during a maritime patrol mission in the southern portion of Bajo de Masinloc. This area is located some 124 nautical miles from Zambales, or well within the country's exclusive economic zone. In a social media post, PCG spokesperson for West Philippine Sea, J. Tariela, maintained that the removal of the floating barrier aligns with both international law and the country's sovereignty over the territory. Maritime expert Attorney J. Bakal agrees. He also told Frontline tonight that this is the first time in a while that the Philippine government made a swift action against physical barriers hoisted by China. Bakal believes it's only a matter of time before Beijing does such action again. Still, the maritime expert sees the pushback as an improvement from past years when the former administration let China get away with Beijing's aggression in disputed waters.
Which has no business being there in the first place. And what we're doing really is just trying to allow our own fishermen to eke out their livelihood dito sa Scarborough Shoal. So if China reacts badly to this, I don't see how they can make up any kind of justifiable excuse.
China is justifying its installation of a floating barrier in Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said a physical restriction was put up on September 22 to stop a ship of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Beijing claimed the BFAR vessel was caught intruding into its waters. Wang added that Chinese Coast Guard did what was necessary and acted in a professional and restrained fashion. China also reiterated its quote, indisputable sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal, known as Wang Yandao, to the superpower. A fisher folk group cries foul over China's action in Bajo de Masinloc, the latest of which is the installation of the floating barrier. Pamalakayan National Chairman Fernando Hiccup said what Beijing did was illegal. Hiccup pointed out that the seeming silence of President Bongbong Marcos on the issue, questioning the coordination among concerned agencies. He also lamented the impact of China's persistent efforts to restrict access and movement in the contested waters.
Nakakapangisda, lumalaki yung gastos nila sa gasolina kasi takbo lang sila ng takbo dahil inaarang. Tapos hindi sila makapunta doon sa target nilang pangisdaan. Alam naman kasi ng mga mangisda kung saan yung mas maraming isda sa panahon. Halimbawa ngayon, may mga palipat-lipat, alam nila yun. Pero ngayon hindi na magawa dahil nga dyan sa tuloy-tuloy na pangarang ng Chinese Coast Guard.
Moving on to another story, PhilHealth admits that operations are greatly affected by the recent hacking of their database. In an interview with Radio 5, PhilHealth spokesperson Dr. Israel Pargas said that 72 of their workstations in the head office were impacted by the Medusa ransomware. The state insurer's IT team and the DICT are fixing access to members' data, e-claims, collection portals, as well as the PhilHealth website. Pargas assured again that personal and medical information of members have not been compromised. Hackers are asking for $300,000 or roughly 17 million pesos for the PhilHealth database they stole. The state insurer reiterated they are not paying any ransom.
Around 72 stations were identified to be affected, and there are application servers na naapektuhan po na nag-cause ng effect sa ating e-claim system. Even ang mga hospitals ay hindi po magamit ang ating system para po sa online, kung kaya't we shifted now to manual operations. Technically po, malala po siya.
Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. The House minority questions the passage of the fiscal regime for the mining industry in the wee hours of the morning. The lower chamber approved on third and final reading House Bill 8937, which mandates margin-based royalty and windfall profit tax on mining companies. 272 lawmakers voted in favor of the measure, while 4 opposed and 1 abstained. The minority bloc is wondering why voting on such an important bill had to be done on irregular hours. The group has also questioned why the House allowed nominal voting via hybrid, which let legislators who were not in the plenary to send in their votes.
Hindi po maganda sa mata ng taong bayan na tayo ay nagpapasa, nagsisingit ng isang napakahalagang bill sa gitna ng ganitong oras ng gabi, 12:24 a.m. Sabi nga doon sa rules natin, hindi naman calamity, hindi naman ganyan eh. Saka we are doing away with the electronic voting na. Bakit ngayon ganito pa ulit?
Nasa 25 na lang po tayo sa loob ng session hall na ito habang nag-explain tayo ng boto para ipaliwanag bakit merong mga pagkukulang ang panukalang batas na ito. Hindi nasusolusyonan ng panukalang batas ang malalim na problema ng mining industry sa kasalukuyan na nakakiling sa extraction at paglalabas sa bansa ng ating mga mineral.
We now give you a quick look at today's other top stories. President Bongbong Marcos has certified as urgent the Magna Carta for seafarers. The bill aims to address deficiencies in domestic laws for Filipino workers' training, which should be at par with international standards. This will in turn help in their accreditation in the global maritime industry. The Seafarers Magna Carta is up for second reading in the Senate after the House of Representatives approved it last March. The lower house has approved on third and final reading the bill reforming the pension system of military and uniformed personnel, or MUPs. These are the salient provisions under the latest version. Only new entrants are required to contribute 9% of their monthly salary to the fund. There's also a guaranteed 3% annual salary increase for MUPs for the first 10 years of the law's effectivity. The mandatory retirement age is at 57 years or upon accumulation of 30 years of active service. The proposed law likewise creates 2 MUP trust funds, one for AFP and another for uniformed personnel. Both funds will be managed by the GSIS. There's also a trust fund committee to be headed by the finance secretary. The national government will contribute 12% to the pension system through state savings. A meager rollback in pump prices takes effect today, September 26. Diesel and gasoline prices are cheaper by 20 centavos per liter and kerosene by 50 centavos. This marks the end of 11 consecutive weeks of big-time price hikes, which comes down to around 17 pesos for diesel and 15 pesos per liter for kerosene. The Energy Department earlier said that petroleum costs could remain high throughout the year due to tight supply in the global market. In entertainment, here's a first look at Piolo Pascual in the film Gomburza, a story about the martyrdom of Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora. Piolo stars as Padre Pedro Pelaez, the clergy who mentored Father Burgos, played in the movie by Cedric Juan. Veteran actor Dante Rivero is Father Gomez, while Enchong D plays Father Zamora. This early, film enthusiasts and critics are expecting Gomburza to be one of the entries in the Metro Manila Film Festival this December. The historical film is the first ever collaboration of Jesuit Communications and MQuest Ventures under the direction of award-winning filmmaker Pepe Diokno. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.